The NBA has always been about earning your spot through blood, sweat, and tears. But something's happening right now that's got the whole basketball world amazed, and not necessarily in a good way. Bronny James, son of the legendary LeBron James, jumped straight from averaging 4.8 points in college to landing a multi-million-dollar NBA contract. He's making more money than guys who were drafted 15 spots ahead of him. Something's not adding up here, and we need to talk about what this means for the future of basketball. When most players put up those kinds of college numbers, they're hitting the gym harder or heading back to school. But when your last name is James, well, apparently different rules apply. This isn't just about Bronny anymore. This is about what happens when family ties start mattering more than what you can actually do on the court. We've seen family connections in the NBA before, but never quite like this. The question isn't just whether Bronny belongs in the NBA, it's whether this sets a dangerous example for the league's future. The Lakers made headlines when they selected Bronny with the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, but let's break down what really happened here. Rob Pelinka, the Lakers' vice president of basketball operations, couldn't stop talking about making history with the first father-son duo to play together. Sure, it sounds great on paper, a feel-good story about family legacy. But beneath the surface, there are some serious questions we need to address. LeBron had been planning this moment for years, making it clear he wanted to play with his son before retiring. The Lakers, desperate to keep their aging superstar happy, made it happen. Some called it a low-risk move with potential benefits, but let's be real. How many other 55th picks get this kind of treatment? How many other players averaging less than 5 points in college get fast-tracked to the NBA? The whole situation gets even more interesting when you look at the timing. The NBA moved the second round of the draft to a different day for the first time ever. Coincidence? Many insiders say this was done specifically to maximize coverage of Bronny's selection. The league turned what would typically be a late-round pick into primetime entertainment, all because of a last name. Let's dig deeper into what Bronny actually brings to the table. At 6'2", he's shown some decent defensive skills and can hit from a distance. That much we saw at Sierra Canyon High School, where he put up 14.2 points per game. But high school isn't college, and college isn't the NBA. Each level represents a massive jump in competition, and so far, Bronny's struggled with these transitions. The scariest moment came when he suffered that cardiac arrest incident during practice. Credit where it's due, he showed tremendous courage in bouncing back from that health scare. But since returning, the numbers tell a concerning story. His college stats weren't just modest, they were well below what you'd expect from an NBA prospect. That 36.6% shooting percentage? That's the kind of number that would usually have scouts looking elsewhere. Analysts keep talking about his potential as a 3-and-D player, comparing him to guys like DeAnthony Melton. But here's the thing. Melton earned his spot through consistent improvement and proven performance. Right now, all we've got with Bronny is a lot of maybes and what-ifs. The potential might be there, but the reality is lagging far behind the hype. Now, let's follow the money, because this is where things get interesting. Bronny's 4-year, $7.8 million deal, with $4.35 million guaranteed isn't just unusual, it's extraordinary for a player drafted in his position. We're talking about the 55th pick in the draft making more guaranteed money than players taken in the early second round. To put this in perspective, the 3 players drafted immediately before Bronny all received standard two-way contracts worth $578,500. These are guys with similar or better college stats, but without the famous last name. Even Maxwell Lewis, who the Lakers picked at number 40, only got $3.1 million guaranteed. In what world does this make sense? This kind of contract disparity doesn't just raise eyebrows. It raises serious questions about fairness and merit in the NBA. When did the draft position stop mattering? Are we creating a dangerous example where marketability and family connections conquer actual basketball ability? The implications for future drafts and player development could be significant. The Summer League is where rookies typically get their first taste of professional basketball, and for Bronny, it was a wake-up call. In total professional appearances, including Summer League, we're looking at just 35 points, 9 assists, and 12 turnovers. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about how he looked on the court. The shooting percentages were particularly concerning. For a player who's supposed to excel in catch-and-shoot situations, his performance raised serious red flags. The ball handling issues became prominent every time he faced pressure, and his decision-making often seemed rushed or uncertain. These aren't just rookie mistakes. They're fundamental issues that should have been addressed before reaching this level. What's particularly telling is how other rookies, even undrafted ones, showed more readiness for the professional game. While they were making their mark and fighting for roster spots, Bronny often looked hesitant and overwhelmed. And the Summer League is supposed to be where young players prove they belong. Instead, it only amplified questions about whether Bronny was ready for this jump. The Lakers aren't just any team. They're a franchise built on championship aspirations. With LeBron still performing at an elite level, averaging over 25 points per game last season, and Anthony Davis anchoring the defense, they should be in the title conversation. But last season's 47-35 record and first-round playoff exit against the Nuggets showed clear gaps in their roster. The addition of Bronny was supposed to bridge some of these gaps, bringing young energy to an aging team. But let's think about this logically. How does a rookie averaging less than 5 points in college help a team win championships? The Lakers need reliable rotation players who can contribute meaningful minutes in high-pressure situations. Right now, Bronny isn't that player. The pressure of championship expectations only makes Bronny's development more complicated. Every mistake gets magnified, and every missed shot becomes a talking point. The Lakers are trying to balance developing a rookie while competing for titles, two goals that often conflict with each other. The G League performances tell an even more concerning story. In 31 minutes, a significant amount of playing time for a G League game, Bronny managed just 6 points, 4 assists, and 5 turnovers. But it's not just about the statistics, it's about the approach and attitude on the court. While other G League players are literally fighting for their basketball lives, diving for loose balls and giving maximum effort on every play, Bronny often appears to be going through the motions. The Lakers have created this unique hybrid situation where he plays home games in the G League, but travels with the NBA team for away games. This arrangement might sound special, but it's actually blocking his development. Think about it. How can you develop consistency when you're constantly bouncing between two different levels of play? How can you build chemistry with either team when you're only there part-time? This isn't about helping Bronny become the best player he can be, it's about maintaining the appearance of special treatment. So where does this leave us? The Lakers are in a risky position, trying to balance multiple competing interests. They're attempting to develop a rookie who clearly needs time to grow, while also chasing another championship with LeBron's window closing. As DeMarcus Cousins said on Run It Back, this whole situation might be a sign that the Lakers aren't really serious about competing anymore. The truth is, the Lakers' championship hopes can't rest on Bronny's shoulders. Those shoulders aren't ready for that kind of weight. Yes, having LeBron as a mentor is invaluable. Yes, there's potential for growth. But right now, this looks more like a marketing strategy than a basketball decision. The bigger question isn't just about Bronny anymore, it's about what this means for the NBA's future. Are we entering an era where family connections matter more than merit? Where marketing potential outweighs basketball ability? These are uncomfortable questions, but they need to be asked. Because right now, this father-son experiment looks less like a championship strategy and more like a cautionary tale about the dangers of putting storylines ahead of substance.